Hello everyone, this is Godzilla Wolf 1 and I'm back with another Minecraft mod showcase. And today's showcase will be on the dynamic transport mod. Now, this is an extremely simple mod, it just adds elevators, but they're extremely customizable elevators that actually have quite a bit of uses other than just moving up and down. And I'll get into that in a second, I've got stuff set up a good bit over there. But let's get started by just telling you how to make stuff, because, well, this is a mod showcase. You came here to learn about the mod. Now, the first thing you'll need to make an elevator is an elevator computer. Did not know elevators had computers, but apparently they do. You learn things. Maybe. Anyway, to craft an elevator computer, you'll need 6 gold ingots, 1 glass, 1 redstone, and 1 ender pearl. And what you want to do with your elevator computer is bury it one below, well, not really bury it, but place it one below where you want the floor of your elevator to be. So I want my elevator right here, the computer goes there. Now for the next part, we will need elevator blocks, which they're what they say, they're the elevator itself. And to craft one you need 1 diamond, 6 iron, 1 ender pearl, and 1 redstone, so a little expensive because of the diamond. But depending on what mods you have installed and how big you want your elevator, and that's one good thing, there's not much limit to how big you make your elevators, so long as you follow some simple rules. And I think there is probably an upper limit, but so long as you follow a few simple rules, you shouldn't have a problem. Now what I want to do is I want to place these touching the block. It has to be touching. I'm pretty sure of that anyway. And make a however big you want. I'm going to make a 3x3 grid here. Now what we'll need next is a elevator tool. And to craft the elevator tool, you'll need 6 lapis, 1 redstone, 1 string, and 1 glass pane. So inexpensive, probably because this is the most important thing in the mod. And what you want to do is you want to shift right click the elevator block. And this is something that wasn't in showcases I know before, so it's probably a new update. But when you select the elevator block and switch to maintenance mode, it shows you whatever is connected to the elevator block. So now, right click that, and as you can see they turn green, telling me they are now attached to that elevator block. Which is a nice touch. I like that because it makes sure you don't make a mistake. Which, if it didn't show you, you just have to kind of guess which one you'd clicked, and I like that they gave you a way to tell. Alright, the last thing you'll need to make an elevator is a floor marker block, and to craft a floor marker block, you will need 7 iron ingots, 1 ender pearl, 1 redstone, and you get 4 of them actually, which is nice because this is something you're going to need a lot of. Now to set this, this is important, you want to set it 2 above the floor that you're going to want it to stop on. So in this case, since this is down, I put up there, and that is very important because if it runs into something on the way down, I've noticed that it tends to glitch out and potentially break. So you want to make sure that this always stops in that fashion because it's not pretty when it crashes. Anyway, you want to right click this to lock it to the machine, and one thing to note, you want to build the elevator part before you connect it to this. That's kind of important. But anyway, let's move up to, say, right here. Let's grab some dirt so I can do it right. Put that right there. You see they're lined up, so this should result in my elevator stopping where I want to. Now, shift right-click this again to bring it out of maintenance mode. Then right-click this and click 78, and it begins to move up and stop. And there you go, that's your simple, basic, no flares elevator. Easy way to get up a mountain. Now if you want to go back, you just click and it goes right back down, and because I did this correctly, it should be perfectly fine. Tells you arrived safely and everything else. Now one thing to note, if I fly up here, say I'm trying to get down the mountain and I don't want to get hurt, even though this is a very poorly chosen mountain to do that, I just click right here, click that, and it will call the elevator up to me. Which is a nice touch. And one other thing you can do is, say I want a button, I place it right there, and I place one right here, and to note, you can only control this to go up by clicking the block itself. But if I click this, it calls the elevator down to me. which I think is a very, very nice touch. I personally rather like that they give you the option to have a quick way to call it down if you need it, even if you kind of need to click the block to go up, so I guess it's only a little bit quicker. It's still a nice feature. Alright guys, now on to the absolute coolest part of the mod, the customization options. And this is where this mod gets really, really awesome. Now, you might already like the look of these blocks, but let's say you want to make them a little less conspicuous or a little more interesting or what have you. All you need to do is switch into maintenance mode using the elevator tool, which is as simple as shift right clicking the computer and then just right click them with anything. Though there is a bit of a glitch with grass that the top texture ends up being gray. I'm not really sure what the problem with that is, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, let's just turn this to stone for the moment to kind of give it a little bit more of a camouflage look. All you need to do is right click it and you shift right click it to get the block back. I should note that in survival you will use up whatever block you're using, but you can get it back just by shift right clicking it, so with an empty hand apparently. So no big deal about using up blocks. But just remember, if you want to make an elevator out of diamond, you're going to need a lot of diamonds. But anyway, at this point, it looks perfectly fine, but this is still sticking out here. So let's pick something to turn it into, let's say, yellow wool for no reason. Just right-click that, it turns into whatever you want it to. The only block you can't change is the computer, but that's not really a big deal. Anyway, just to show that it still works, shift right-click that, right-click this, click that, and we're off. So yeah, I love that feature. I love it when mods do that, where you're not just stuck with the same old, and you can actually have some degree of freedom as to what you want to turn everything into and what you want it to look like. And also to note, that feature still works too, even though that's a yellow wool block. But that is not all. That is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to customizing with this mod, as you will see now. Alright, now on to my absolute favorite part of the mod, the ability to customize it with glowstone and redstone. Basically, if you were to use a redstone block or a glowstone block to camouflage any of the blocks from this mod, they take on the qualities of that block, meaning glowstone emits a glow and redstone will emit a redstone signal. So let's switch this into its non-maintenance mode. Right click this and send this up, and also I should note you don't have to be on it when it's going up. The redstone block goes up there and sets off those fireworks. And of course you can just call this right back and it fires again on the way down. But that is such a useful feature because it gives you the ability to do vertical redstone. And that is something, and not just vertical redstone through some big complicated water system, but just a single elevator shaft and a few blocks. Seriously, that would be so useful in survival for redstone contraptions and stuff. I love that you can do that, and there's even more you can do with it, really. So let's head over here, and as you can see, this is just a little idea of what you can construct with this. It's not in its maintenance mode, so I can just show you right away, but yeah, I made a little observatory, which I just want to show off a little bit because it kind of shows you something you can easily make in survival. Just a little observatory high in the air, you can go up and down. And another thing to note, because zombies and some mobs and some enemies could technically follow you up a ladder or upstairs, not up an elevator, because only humans can use it. So that's another thing. This is completely safe from any mobs down there, which definitely helpful, especially if you have flying mobs installed, because this gets sealed up when you come up here. But anyway, let's head back down. I just wanted to show this off because it was a thing, and something you could potentially build in survival, which would be kind of cool. And to note, you can actually fall off this, so be careful about that. You can actually fall off, so you want to be a little careful. But anyway, shift right click to switch this in maintenance mode. Now, one thing to note if you do this, do not put the redstone block so it will touch one of these, because the same reason a button will cause it to be called to that floor and there's police outside is also going to happen if a redstone block happens to touch these. So what you want to do, and just to be on the safe side, I wouldn't have it touching their computer either, is to just put them like this, perhaps. So they do not touch the actual blocks themselves and are kind of off to the side. Anyway, shift right click and go down to the bottom floor and wait for it. Instant light when you reach the bottom. That's something I really do like that you can do, because it not only gives you a way down into a mine shaft, it also gives you a way to light up, like, say you want to make a mob grinder underground and have it pitch black, but you obviously still want to be able to see what's going on. Well, just do this, and when you arrive down at the bottom floor, your mob grinder lights up, you can see the mobs that are trying to kill you. Which, yeah, that's definitely actually a very useful feature to this mod. Anyway, come over here, and I'll show off something you can do with glowstone. Is do basically the same thing. That's just the fancy way of doing it. Over here, you can just simply do this, which looks awesome coming down. Just make the entire elevator out of glowstone. This is just really showing off a few things you can do in survival. And I do like how it looks when it's coming down the mine shaft. I mean, it just looks so cool seeing this moving light source. Alright guys, there's one more thing I want to show, and that is that the elevators can move mobs, even if they cannot access the elevator block itself. So, Mr. Iron Golem, time to emulate a super robot from a movie. So I just click that, he begins to go up, and if I follow him up due to having already prepared for this, and do this to open the gates I made up here, one Iron Golem straight to the surface. He took a little bit of damage, but I don't think most mobs will do that. I'm not sure how useful this would actually be in survival. I mean, I'm sure you can move cows and livestock and stuff. Say you want to move something up a mountain, that would probably be a useful feature for this, because everyone knows it's hard to actually get anything to move how you want it to in Minecraft. You've got the leaves, but they can be difficult to get things to go vertical and stuff. So this could be a very easy way to move things up to, say, a mountain farm or something. Or just make your Iron Golem emulate a super robot show. Does he have a rose? Yeah, he has a rose. What are you looking at? Do you want to ride the elevator? Okay, I guess not. Anyway, that's all there is to show with this mod. I think it's a great mod for survival or creative. It gives you a lot of possibilities, and even a way to do vertical redstone, which is something I think a lot of people want to be able to do in Minecraft. So anyway guys, this has been the Dynamic Transport mod. I'm Godzilla Wolf 1, and I hope you enjoyed this mod showcase. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.